Hello, my name is King Link, and today we're taking a look at the first 30 minutes of the Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Now, this game just came out today. I'm super excited. I actually kickstarted this way back in the day, so a little disclosure there. I did kickstart it. I have got it. I actually also got a Curse of the Moon, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, and that was a pretty... It was good. It was very NES style. This is a premium game. This is the big boy, and it really feels like a return to form for this, for Iga, and basically the style. Now, quickly, I'm just going to show you what's on the menus here. I have everything at Epic, and honestly, the game runs great on my system. This is an aging hardware, so you can look at that. And of course, we have blood colors. I saw black, blue, purple, white, green. I don't see none, but it's just... That was the one option on this game that is very odd. You can, of course, look back and see what else is there. There we go. Now, here you have the ability to begin a new game. That, I believe, is my save file from the demo. I'm just going to play a little bit with the options here. If you notice... Yeah, I give up. If you notice, the normal difficulty is the only difficulty that we can play. Oh wait, actually I just remembered. I tried to load this another time and I actually crashed the game. I will try that again later. No big worry there because I really only got about 10 to 20 minutes in, well actually probably 30 minutes into the game. Here I'm starting a new one, and if you notice, hard and nightmare difficulties are locked off at the beginning. Honestly, the game's not that bad. Normal is pretty easy, and it is a Igavania, I guess it's called. But basically, you level up, you can get more abilities, items, and stuff. Now, this is kind of the opening story. There is a decent amount of story in Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, and this one... Honestly, I haven't seen this before. I feel like it tries very hard. And the thing is, once you get into the game, you actually start caring about these characters. But right now, you don't understand who these people are. The unthinkable to defend the existence. So the idea here is that, to give you a little backstory, and the game kind of goes into it a little more. Obviously, this is a piece. There's the shard binders, and what the shard binders are, let's be honest, if you played Castlevania Aria of Sorrow, that's the system. When you kill an enemy, you can grab a shard of them, it's a random chance, and equip it as a power, and it makes you more powerful. It allows you to use an ability of theirs. The main character of Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, man, that name is... I just want to call it Castlevania. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is a shardbinder. Is one of these two, Gebel and Miriam. Miriam is the female. She is the only playable character at this time. Now, there is a second playable character, Zangetsu, from Curse of the Moon. I don't believe he's available at the beginning. I haven't really dived into a lot of this game. If you saw there's a backer ID, I haven't even put that. I do have the DLC that came from backers, but otherwise, and I don't even know what that activated, but essentially... I have this game as stock as possible, but Miriam is the shard binder, and essentially she's able to... I really want to just say dominate the souls of others, because that is what happened in Aria of Sorrow, and we'll talk about Castlevania and Bloodstained eventually, but essentially you basically can grab these shards of abilities, and it's actually a rather well done system. It's one of those systems that stood out when Castlevania did it. I'm glad it's back here. Now, notice those horns on her head. We'll talk about that in a bit. And of course, we're going into the in-game story.
It's so hard to believe. I wouldn't even be alive if no...
I know.
I kind of skip a little bit here, nothing too fast, but I want to get to the game. The good news is there's a ton of gameplay. I probably played for about 25 out of my 30 minutes, which is good. On the other hand, I do skip a few scenes near the end.
You always took care of us. Well,
Yeah,
let it go,
so we're just skipping. Essentially, Johannes has helped Miriam out in the past. Gebel, who is the other shard binder in the ritual, something's going on with him. We will see him eventually in this 30 minutes, so that is good to know. Well, I really want to talk more about... Okay, here we go, finally. Talk more about this. So now, I'm playing a little bit quickly here. As you see, I can just kick with no weapon equipped. We will equip, I believe, the knife first. So, we'll talk about the head and the scarf in a minute. It's really cool. There's something that I noticed as I was playing this. The weapon you equip actually does change your abilities. If you notice, I kicked at first. I'm using the same button to kick as a stab. I'm going to switch to the Kung Fu shoes, and all of a sudden I'm kicking and able to jump kick. It's actually a really interesting way for them to handle the handle all these weapons. I've already seen whips. These are going to be small spoilers for the next 30 minutes, but I've seen a whip, a great sword, a regular sword, the knife, the boots. I even found a special move for the boots. There's a lot that you can do already, and again, first 30 minutes, so there's even more probably down the way. Oh, a gun. There's a gun. I mean, really, whatever fight style you want, it looks like it's possible. I think I even see a samurai sword at the end. I don't know if I'm going to have that in the recording, but there's a lot of choices here. So here we go. So if you notice, her head, I'm actually going to take off her horns. And we'll see this, I think, clearer a little bit later, but yeah, if you take off her scarf even, like the scarf and the head is actually a real object in the world. When you take that off, you can see the scarf behind her. You can see she's no longer has... You can't really see because it was so fast, but the horns on her head actually get removed. Unfortunately, the armor, we'll see later as well, doesn't have that same property, does not get removed or equipped. But the fact that they did small things like the accessories and the headpieces do change the character model is kind of nice. It's small touches like this that make me like the game. And of course I think you need a double jump there, I don't know. This is definitely a Metroidvania where you're going to move around, you're going to get abilities, and shards, whatever. And you're going to have to come back and re-explore areas. And God, I love Metroidvanias. This is a return to the style of Castlevania that I loved. Let's just get into that a bit. So, obviously, if you know anything about this game, you probably know it's based on Castlevania. And Iga, the guy who is the creator of this game, originally was on Castlevania. He helped make, I believe, Symphony of the Night. He helped make a lot of these amazing Castlevanias, which combined RPG elements, exploration, Metroid, thus kind of the idea of the Metroidvania, and essentially created a genre on his own. I mean, I have thoughts on if Metroidvania and Metroid games are different genres, but essentially, yes, this is the style of Metroidvania, and it is so much fun to be playing these. Obviously, Iga's no longer with Konami. He left them along with a bunch. Don't want to talk about that too much here, but the thing is, this just feels exactly like Symphony of the Night, and pretty much all the handheld ones. Aria of Sorrow, definitely, obviously with the shard system. And you've seen me kind of use the shard ability of throwing some splashing out. It feels good. I mean, like, really, there's 5 different types of shards I can wear. In my demo, I saw a few more. I think, a passive. I don't think I've seen a familiar yet. There is another ability coming up that is really cool, but it's just, this game really feels nice. Very exploration based, of course. And of course, there you see I've leveled up. The game does pause every time you level up. Part of me is like just kind of annoyed when that happens because I'm in the middle of a battle, and part of me is like, it's a really cool effect. With that said, though, I mean, essentially, I probably could leave it there, but I want to show you more of the game. It is a very Castlevania-esque, of the Metroidvania style game, and it looks great. It plays well. We're gonna see one amazing fight near the end. It's just beautiful. Now, if you've noticed, I hit him in the head once and I got more damage, so there's even weak spots on enemies, it appears. And then you can even use your abilities. The one downside, and the one thing that's I know I'm gonna hate, is as much as I love this game, yeah, I took a potion because I felt a little nervous. Yeah. Here I get a little confused. I go right, then left, and right. Oh, I don't wear that tunic. Oh, my bad. There's even these books that you can open up like this and look at it. I'll actually pull it up again in case you wanted to see what that said. But yeah, you have the ability to research. You have all these interesting abilities that have enhanced the genre, I think, in good ways. I'm sure most of this stuff has been done. Like, there's been books and stuff in other games, but it's just, as a fan of the original Castlevanias, I'm kind of comparing this more to that. And in that way, it's good. The graphics are nice. I like the female protagonist. I really think that's an interesting change. And, you know, it's not a story I know already, which, let's be honest, Castlevania has a small problem in that their major story has always, the Dracula story is one of the most iconic in video games. It's always going to be about Dracula. One sec. Sorry, about to sneeze. I think I caught a very minor cold from E3. So yeah, I mean, this is... There's a lot more to see, don't worry. Here is actually one of my favorite little things that happens in this demo, or in this opening 30 minutes. You get this ability, so you can actually now use a flame cannon and shoot a shard in a different way. If you notice there, you have a cannon that has a fuse. You now can light the fuse with the shard, so that's kind of a puzzle mechanic to open up stuff. I don't know how far that's going to go, but it's, again, something that's a nice, clever little thing that they've added here. Yeah. You'll see me pick up, like, all these items. I think, yeah, I will definitely show off the inventory system and all, or the crafting system. But eventually, about 30 minutes into the game, like, almost exactly 30 minutes, you'll get to a place where you can use that inventory. I mean, the designs of the creatures are also really cool. Like, these squidish things, they don't look like anything in other games. There are some stuff obviously taken from other games. There's the harpies and all. The cannons, I feel, are kind of new, even though they've been in everything. And those tongues, I mean, look at those tongues. They're so cool looking, ugly. I don't know what I would call those. If you are curious what I think of the game so far, though, like I said, I've only played about 30 minutes. It's good, though. I'm very excited. I did get this from the Kickstarter. I'm judging it off of, I want to say I paid 20. I might have paid 30. It's been so long. Let me try to pull that up. One sec. But yeah, it's for just getting it for free, let's say. I'm really excited about it. Honestly, if it's a decent length, and I have a feeling you're going to be able to replay it with the second character, you can play it on a harder difficulty. There's so much more you can do with this. So I have a feeling no matter what, there's going to be a decent length to this game. It's pulling up. Yeah, I paid like 28, I think, for the original game. Oh no, I paid 60. Why did I pay 60? I'm confused now. I'm gonna have to double check that because it says $60 was the physical copy. I clearly got the digital copy. Oh, and as I was looking at that, I did miss. So that was the special ability for kicking. You can do a Hadouken, essentially, and you can throw kicks. You have to do a Hadouken for each kick. It feels really good. It doesn't feel like it's hard to trigger it. And what I'm doing there is I'm trying to find another special ability. I don't have one there. And I actually end up deciding I don't want to use that special ability. But it's... the fact that the special tricks to certain weapons does feel very sweet. Honestly, this game is all nostalgia for a lot of people, especially me. It definitely... a lot of it is going to be... it reminds me of Symphony of the Night, so it's good. And you know what? It is. There we go. So we have this tattered scarf. So you see, you can actually change the scarf, and if you look closely at her model, she now has a brown scarf. It doesn't do much, but it's... as I'm testing that out, I use up all my mana. It doesn't do much for the game, but it's small and it's nice. It's a nice little feature. God, we have so many more weapons to go through. Is this where I realized... yeah, I realized head kicks can do more damage there. So if you notice, I'm doing 7 damage to the body, 11 damage to the head. It's a nice little change. There's all sorts of little things like that that so far have made me very excited. Here is one of the worst parts of this video. I spend entirely too long trying to fight this ghost and failing quite a bit. Let's see. I'm also trying to get used to the R stick. I have to manipulate my R stick a little more. I have it on the swipe look, and I need to switch it to probably hold for the controller, but it wasn't exactly working like I want, but I figured out you could just use right trigger, and you can just shoot in the direction you're facing, which works a lot better in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, we don't see the most graphically intensive parts of the game, but I mean, look at the background. The background's really detailed. There's an interesting part outside of this video where as you're running down a path, the background actually rotates around you like 90 degrees, so it feels like you're doing a right turn as you're just moving right and left. Very fluid, very nice, and very clever. Now, if you notice, I actually got another shard of a shard I already had, the Cerulean Splash, and if you look at the bottom, it says Grade 2. There's ranks, which you can build up with your blacksmith, and then you can also farm more to get more grades. I can't wait to see someone who has spent so much time with this game. Oh, here we go. Great sword. And has ranked 10 or ranked 99 all of these items. I'm really glad I'm not going to feel the need to do that, because that's going to take a lot of time. But it is actually a really nice way to continue advancing stuff. If you played like Aria of Sorrow or anything like that... oh, seeds. One sec. We'll talk about those seeds in a second. So the seeds actually allow you to create more corn, create more rice. I assume there's a place that you can actually farm in this game. Interesting idea. I don't know if I would actually have thought of that, but it's something else that you can do in Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. I have to keep promising I won't say Castlevania, which I just did. Oh, so the shards. So you can keep leveling them up. So these early shards will be weak, but one thing that I hate in some of these games is you get a shard and then you immediately will get a more powerful shard. What's the point of the first shard? Here it sounds like you can level them up, you can rank them up, you can actually spend time to make your favorite shard. Like, let's say I'm a big sword person. Oh, another thing I didn't actually try to equip. Check this right side of the screen out. It actually breaks, and there's actually hidden stuff in the world. I actually found a second place where that happens. It's actually a really nice, I mean, I love secret rooms. I love all of this stuff. It's like Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Yes, everything is like that. If you're not a fan of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, I'll tell you the truth. This is probably the best version of it. There we go. We have a musket. This is the best you're going to be able to get on PC because they never brought Symphony of the Night to the PC, and they are dumb for that, not doing that. I love Symphony of the Night. It's one of my favorite Castlevanias. And for some reason, oh, here we go, grade 3. For some reason, they never brought it to PC, so now if I want to play it, I have to go grab my PS4, my PS2, PS1, or, oh, Xbox 360, I also have it on. Yeah, I'm a fan. There we go. Oh, and if you see, I didn't mention it when it happened, her head is actually wearing a helmet from one of the enemies, so you can change her head pieces. It's not major. This is not like, oh my god, this is huge. It's just a very cool, like, minor feature that they added that allows you to customize your character a little more than you know, just a static character. By the way, the news for this game actually said there's a second playable character announced. So Zangetsu is announced, but who knows what that means. If there's a third or fourth, is Gebel a playable character? Who knows? I'm speculating wildly. There we go. So now, I mean, I love this idea that you're gaining these powers as you're moving. I wish there's a way to quickly equip them, but, you know. And as you see, like, I'm using the head slap, and it is very powerful. Yeah. You know, so far I adore this game. I'm very excited to play more. I actually have to go do some writing. I have to finish my Moonlighter review. I have it written, I just have to write the YouTube script, and I just want to go play more of this one. This is really good. Oh, here we go. And also she's using her whip. So I've used a sword, a great sword, a knife, boots, what else? I think the gun. I mean, this is literally the first stage, so that is what they've just put out up front. I have a feeling, I think they said they're gonna have a whip sword somewhere in the game. I remember that whole discussion of should she use a whip or should she use a sword. Great PR move just to get people talking about it, but they ended up doing a whip and a sword. There we go. So here is Gebel. This is...
How does it not?
It's not Dracula. I'm not saying it's Dracula. But it sounds like this guy's going to be the bad guy at first. I don't have any clue how this shakes out, but dear God, I'm excited to know more. I want to play more of this game. It's how long has it been?
This is nonsense.
Our power doesn't make us good. I've given up on my humanity.
I'm trying to remember the launch date of this thing.
Master Jibu, we must return.
Miriam, you're here to kill me, aren't you? Along the way, you'll have no choice but to absorb shards and avail yourself. If you
Scroll
can
all the way
still
down.
claim to be human.
2015. So it has been over 4 years since this game was announced. It's one of 2 Kickstarters that I never lost faith in. The other one being Time Spinner, and that game is also excellent. But I have a feeling this might be my favorite Kickstarter game, and I have a lot of bad ones. So, or games that came out that I just stopped caring about before they arrived. But yeah, this one seems to have lived up to its promise of a Igavania, as they said. So this boss, I mean, like, the look of this boss, I mean, maybe this has to be an M-rated video, I don't know. But it's amazing. Like, it's a double-tiered boss who's also shooting out fireballs and stuff. And again, this is the first boss we see. She's not that hard. I end up messing up a little bit, but it's good. I mean, I'm basically getting distracted by looking at how really unique the style is here. Like, she's kind of like a succubus, but she also has like this thing growing out of her chest. I forget what her name was, but really amazing stuff. Viper? No, that's the name of the other guy, right? There we go. And of course there's an achievements in the game as well. So we are... yeah, we're about 26 minutes. We will definitely go a little bit farther with this. Oh yeah, Vapor, whatever her name is. So that was the first boss. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of the second area. Along with this is odd. I did not touch any buttons. That just shows up and then it immediately ends like that. Maybe I hit something by accident, but it just happened so fast.
Is this a village?
I think this is where I decide I need to start skipping, but I think we see this scene.
All right, but wait. Let me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I start skipping because I want to go on. If you notice to the left, that is the ship stole. You can actually go and explore that area a second time. Obviously, you're going to need to do that double jump area that I kind of pointed out at the beginning, and a few others. Eventually. Yeah, that rat was up in my business. So... my understanding is this game is it gets to be almost a castle where you're exploring it. The opening on the ship is just kind of like the tutorial level. I do know, because I played it 2 years ago, I think, at E3, the ship level was the entire game. Last year, they released a demo of more of the game. Not a ton, from my understanding, but more. And now I'm going to skip this. I'll explain quickly what I remember from the demo, like, last year, but,
You know who I am.
I'm sorry we couldn't get here.
yeah, she is the,
An exorcist.
contact
And the chip.
that they were trying to reach. Essentially, this is the group you're going to work with. I don't show too much of this, but basically there is a camp area here, as you're going to see Miriam move towards. And inside this area, essentially, you have the blacksmith. Anyone that you save and help can come back here and hang out. This is kind of like the end of what I was going to show, so we will probably be going on from here. But you can see now you can craft stuff. You can actually craft a huge amount of items. Like if I want a samurai sword, a katana, done. Like, make what you want. I'm sure there's far more weapons. I really hope there are, because I love the exploration and the ability to get a ton of stuff.
Are you eating
But yeah, there we go, samurai sword. And that was the head, just in case. And then enhancing the shard. So you can actually rank up. If you see in the bottom, now it's a rank 2. You can go rank up all your stuff here. It's just another way to build up power for these items. I don't know how annoying that's going to be, but it's a fun thing for collectors. And personally, I love small things like that. And then here we'll show she runs a shop, essentially. I just noticed she says sell shards, so I don't know how that's going to work. I'll mess with that later.
Dominique, what is all this?
Anyways, so that is essentially Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. I think we've kind of seen it all. I'm going to stop here. Unless, you know, let's wait one more second. I am out of time. I am over, but there's one more piece that kind of is cool. I want to show it off. This woman right here above me. Miriam. Yeah, right. There we go. And you actually have the ability... I like this. You actually have to kill Aiga. Very cool. And you get the sword whip. I can't wait to get that. So, essentially, this is Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. This is the first 30 minutes of it. How do I like it? So far, if you haven't heard, I'm a really big fan. I did kickstart it. I think I got my money's worth. We will definitely see more. And I will do a full review when I'm done with this. But until then, you know, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you want to see that review more from me, consider subscribing. Otherwise, if you are interested in this, it's on Steam, Xbox One, PlayStation 4. It's everywhere, and it seems to be worth the attention it's going to get. Until next time, I'm King Link, and of course, thank you very much for watching.